this morning we are here to discuss around the theme, the power of purpose, why living a life that matter. So living a life that matters, the power of purpose. Like I said, Wild by Hair is just about enjoying and celebrating the journey of purpose and then impact. So that is why we are having a discussion around that. So my first question would be, when we say purpose, what's your idea about purpose? What do you think purpose is all about? So maybe I think Mr. Benquam does a lot of um, um, yeah, leadership training and all that. So I think maybe it would be more appropriate for him to begin that. Yes.
All right. Thank you, David, for this meeting. I think it's something that must go on for the small plates of conversation that is going on. In our day and age, there are so many conversations going on around the table, the beach, wherever you find yourself. And the topic that she's brought up, it's very deep. It's most of the time not really looked at. Sometimes you want to make it a little bit of a theory. Other times you want to look at it from an intellectual's lenses and all. But for us to really understand purpose, I've been doing this for almost like about 15 years. When we talk about purpose, we are looking at 3, maybe to 4 dimensions. The first one is the God factor. Number 2 is the you factor, you the individual. Number 3 is the environment. Okay, then maybe you blend it with a little bit of the excesses. What I mean by the God factor, you cannot meaningfully understand purpose when you delete God out of it, because He is the originator of what we call purpose. Right. So the beginning and the end of it. Then number 2 is the essential element in purpose is you, the person who is trying to make a meaning out of your life. Then maybe finally, why purpose? Why do we think we have to even think about purpose if there is nothing like the world? Okay, so you're looking at a blend of God initiating a whole grand scheme. And in the grand scheme, He puts what we call a tool or an individual to execute that thing. Then the person is given what we call a jurisdiction or a dimension with which they are to operate. So purpose is that God idea that has been placed in the heart of men to expand or execute whatever He wants to be done within the framework that He has given to us. Now, I don't want to talk much about it, try to create a lot of confusion, because already a lot of people are confused and they are at a crossroad. But what I can really end by saying is, God never makes a mistake. The grand scheme of God can never be executed without humanity. God is limited within the framework of naturality when it comes to the earth. And He will only do that through men. When we get that wisdom, we will be careful in how we deal with people that we meet. Whether we know them, no matter their pedigree, no matter wherever they find themselves. God operates through men. He uses men. I believe in miracles, but God's greatest miracle is a human being. And so we have to live in respect, in humility, and in great gratitude for people that are in our lives. So that is what for me I'll say for now. And maybe as the discussion progresses, we'll be able to understand exactly where we are going. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you, Mr. Benquam. Ruth, can you tell us what purpose is about?
Okay, so to just add, I mean, he said a lot of things and he's put it in broad perspective. But just to add to what he said, Romans 8, verse 29 makes us understand that for those he foreknew, he predestined Do you get it? That means that God already knew us. And he said, like, when you were in your mother's womb, I knew you. The creator already knew that, okay, I'm going to create Ruth. And he has predestined me to be conformed to his image. So I feel like that is just the definition of what purpose is. That God has already destined me, he has predestined me to be like him. So in everything that I do, I have to go back to the drawing board and understand that I have to be like Christ. Do you understand? Because when someone creates something, there's a purpose for it. There's a purpose for this mobile phone. There's a purpose for this water. That's the same way there's purpose for you and there's purpose for me. And then the truth of the matter is that in broad perspective, we actually all do have one purpose. We are going the same way because the whole point is being like Christ and then conforming to his image and then getting people to also become like Christ. So I feel like let nobody confuse you about who you are and what you are here to do on earth. When we're in school, I mean, like growing up as a Christian, we made, like you said, purpose look more theoretical. So, and then look like something that we know, but it's not in practice. But then now, growing up, I've come to understand that there's just one purpose. When I go to work, there's just one purpose. In being a wife, it's just one purpose. What is it? We want to go to heaven. We want to be like Christ. We want to experience heaven on earth. And we are the heaven. So the whole point is, let's just do what we have to do to become like Christ. Okay. When you're caught up in any circumstance in your life, ask yourself, will Jesus do what I'm doing? I mean, it looks so spiritual, but then it is the truth. It is the truth. You can't go away from God and still think you're achieving your purpose. Else you've lost the reason why the manufacturer created you. Okay. So it's not really about, I want to become the president of Ghana. It's not really about, I want to become the richest person in the world. Wherever you are placed in life, the whole point is being like Christ, conforming to his image. And then we all go to heaven. That's all.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ruth. I think from what Ruth has mentioned and what Mr. Quarm has mentioned, the whole thing about purpose, you can't take God out of it. So the Elizabeth, why does purpose matter in the first place? Why does it really matter? Why do we have this whole buzzword purpose and people are talking about it, people are writing books about it, people are just preaching about it? Why does it really matter?
I think before we all came here, there was that's one goal. It was not just to gather here and just eat or whatever it is. It was because you made us aware of the fact that there was something we were going to do. Okay. Hence, we had to gather here. And so, just to add to what Mr. Quarm and Sister Ruth has said, I want to actually level on intentionality. Okay. You can't say that you are going to be like Christ, and then today you pick your Bible, you read, and then tomorrow, when you're meeting me, I'm not buying it. You can't do that. There should be some sort of intentionality. And with that, he is giving us rules. You know that you have to read the word of God. You have to do certain things that you know that this is Christ-like. And so if you're not doing them, how do you end up being like Christ? You understand? And so to fulfill purpose or to make purpose matter, there should be that level of intentionality. There should be something that drives you. There should be something that motivates you to do this thing. You've set out goal. Just like before you started this thing, when you spoke, you said you had it in your mind. There was a lot of things you had planned out. But then because you knew this was what you wanted to do, the intentionality is what we are seeing today. Okay. And so there should be that level of intentionality. Like there should be something that you know that if I don't do this thing today, it has become a part of my life, an extracurricular activity. And so if I don't do it, maybe it won't me. The intentionality has to be there. Okay. That will make your purpose matter. Okay. That will make people know that, when this lady is there and she is moderating an event. There's something about this. Please, I didn't get your name.
Belinda.
There's something about Belinda. When Belinda is in the room, you know she commands the room.
Okay.
You know this thing about Belinda. And so, if there's no intentionality with what she is doing, how does she end up letting everybody know that this is my purpose, this is why I am here,
Okay.
and so this is what I have to do?
Okay.
And so I am just kind of, leveling on intentionality,
Okay.
something that has to motivate and drive you.
Okay, so thank you, the Elizabeth. So I think basically what she's saying is that you have to add intentionality for your purpose to manifest, to matter, yes, to matter. But then we are talking about God, we are talking about purpose, we are talking about being like Christ. When it comes to everyday purpose, walking in purpose, maybe let's say Ruth is your wife, you have your kids and all that. Mr. Quarm is a CEO, you are doing your job, I also go to my job and all that. Everyday purpose, what's everyday purpose like? Are we saying that once you wake up in the morning, everything is about I want to be like Christ? How do we navigate it? Like looking at our ambitions, looking at our goals. Do our ambitions and our goals have a role in our purpose, or they are very distinct factors? And then what we are talking about is, okay, I want to be like Christ. How do we merge our ambitions? How do we merge our goals? How do we merge our everyday lives in the purpose that you guys are talking about? So I think maybe Ruth, maybe you could.
All right. So, like Debbie said, how are we merging our lives, our career? For me, how am I merging motherhood?
The video is coming.
How am I merging motherhood in this journey of purpose? But good. I believe that in achieving purpose, we are gearing towards making an impact in our lives. Even in your home, how you communicate or deal with your spouse, how you speak to your children, they need to see that the God factor in you. Most often, I tell people that this out of the box though, but how you are determines how people will behave around you. So if you are with someone like your spouse and you feel like, my spouse is not praying, my spouse is not doing this, like he doesn't read the Bible. When you speak, they don't hear. You can say it 1,000 times, they wouldn't hear because they are not in your place. They don't understand what you are saying. But then when you act it, when you be what you're asking someone to become, that's when they actually become. So for instance, if you enter a room and the place is so well kept, okay, you enter a kitchen and the dishes are washed, would you eat and go and leave your dish there like that? But when you enter a room and the place is messed up, would you wash your plates? You saw dirty plates there, would you wash it? You wouldn't. So the whole journey about purpose, back to your question, is about making an impact to the people around you. At work, you are making an impact. You are keeping the principle. And the principle is God. So you are making people see Jesus in you. So we are not saying that when you wake up in the morning, you are saying, I want to become like Christ. It's not about saying, it's about acting it, becoming it. So God cannot be put aside, and then we put work here and family here, and then what? Friends here. There should be God reflecting in every area of our lives. And that's what I believe in. Once you go to work, people should know that this girl believes in God. She's a child of God. At work, when it's anybody's birthday, they'll say, Ruth should pray for the person. And then I'll give a very long prayer. And then people will be like, and they say I am eloquent, not because they think I can like sell, because I sell houses. They say I'm eloquent because they say I pray well. And that's the reason why I'm being given some graces that I have. And then I sat down, I sat back and I'm like, how? Like, I felt like you guys should praise me for being able to sell, praise me for being able to do what I'm here to do. But it's outside of it. It's just because I pray for people and they hear what I'm saying about God. They feel like, oh, Ruth is good. Why? Because she prays well. She prays well. And it's getting me the benefit that I want. So serving God must reflect in every area of our lives. I feel like that's our purpose. My purpose is not to make money. I want to make a lot of money, actually. But I want people to know me that I have worked with God. I want people to know me and know the God factor in me. I want to leave an impact in people's lives. So I called my friend one time and I asked her, so if God gives you $1 million, what would you use the money for? And then she was like, I'll go and buy a house. I'll buy this. And I was like, if you are talking about buying a house and traveling, then that's not the $1 million I'm talking about. Because if you have $1 million, buying a house is very cheap. I mean, like it's not even what we are talking about. But I'm saying that if God gives you everything that you have right now, what would you do? What impact will you make? Then you see that really life is not about material stuff. I deal with people who are very rich. They can afford every house they want. They can do anything they want to. They can travel to any country they want to. But then, is that all that is about you? All that is about you is that you live in a good house or you have money at the bank. Is that all that it is? Then your life is not really interesting at all. But then it should be a life that has created impact in people everywhere you go, at your workplace, in your children's life, in your spouse's life. What is your spouse saying about you when you are not there? What are people saying about you when you're not there? I think I've spoken too much. But then, yeah, that's big.
Yeah. Thank you. So my next question would be, so is purpose like a particular destination, maybe a one point destination? This is purpose, or is it a journey? Does it evolve? Or is it more like the Eureka moments where we say, okay, yes, this is it, and this is what I have to do, and then I go do it? Or it's just something that from birth you are just walking in it? What exactly, how does it unfold? So, Mr. Ben Quarm, if you could just touch on that a little for
This one
us.
is like that. Entry into some kind of spiritual thing.
Let's just keep it here.
So I'm not sure you vaccinated when you got out of school. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to really say that. See, the idea of purpose. You're talking about how you juggling, you being a wife, you being whatever in purpose. The whole idea is the starting point of our decisions must or must come from purpose. The work you do, because it literally fills every aspect of your life.
Yeah.
And that is why we have to be very intentional, very careful about where we work. I have very good Christian friends who are working in places that has shipwrecked their faith. It has literally made them to lose their values. And you have to be very careful. See, this life is very short. Whether it is 80 years, 90 years, I'm not sure I want to live for long, to be honest with you. But I want to do what I can do within that short space of time. And we have to be very careful about it. Sometimes when you get to people who are living a life of purpose, it looks like they have a boring life.
Yeah.
It looks like. But the world is a better place today because of people who lived selfless and a life just to impact their world. See, talk about money. See, sometimes the lie that we have been told, especially from growing up, even from our family, also when you sika nya warrior pa that time from Itombeka Church say nya aban ejuma, because aban ejuma there it is what stable. But that's a huge lie. Trust me. The level of frustration, confusion, and wastedness in our generation is because of meaninglessness. And that is huge. I speak to thousands and 10,000s of people, and you will be shocked the level of emptiness in our world today. And to make it even more scary is within the walls of the church. And that is really like, do we really know the God we are talking about? How many of us seated here would even go on our knees and ask God, do I go for this job? Yes, there's no work. Like it seems everything is limited. And so people are just going with the flow. And that is very scary for me. So how do you juggle this life and that life? I feel there is only one life. And all of it must begin to, make meaning in the choices that we are doing. Yes, purpose evolves as you get closer and get connected to God. You will definitely reach the aha moment or the eureka moment as you're talking about. Oh, really? So this is it. Look, God is so, sometimes it's really frustrating because you'll be praying and asking God, hey, what is it that I need to do? What do I have to do? Especially when you are with the senior high movement, highly confused class of people in the world. Yes. So you're struggling to even put your feet, because purpose gives you focus, and focus gives you a speed, and you are able to achieve what it is that you have to achieve. So yes, purpose evolves over time as you continuously follow what is in your heart. Now let me just quickly give you some few cardinal points. Number one, don't throw away your desires that are in you. Every human being has desires. Everyone steady has a level of desire in us. Maybe as a wife, it can change, husband, it can change because of the responsibility. But your desires have been put in you by God. Number two, your passion, your interest, all right, your talent, and your skill set, all of them are pointers to what exactly that you need to do in this life. And maybe the exercises are when you want to cry to God to help you do all of this. But don't throw away your desires, your interests, and all of that. But you put all of this in one grand scheme, and you find out that there is a reason that I am here. Don't scatter yourself all over the place. I see very talented young people, and they are all over the place. People think that I'm quite, this guy is out of the place. No, I'm not out of the place, because I really know what supports me. There are places I will never go. There are people I'll never hang out with, because I know what I have to do. My time is really limited, unless you have no idea about what your time really is. But if you're able to understand that, it will define a lot of things for you. There are a lot of social media platforms I wouldn't do. Hey, you have to be on TikTok. I'm like, okay, so now I'll get a lot of following. I'm like, TikTok, okay. Then you go like, don't. What I'm trying to say is, stick to the drawing board, the initial plan. Whether you are a wife, don't throw away your purpose. People are doing so well. You see a young lady doing so well. All of a sudden, he goes to marry another person. Hey, everything is gone down. So everyone's become a wife. Okay, really? Then I think you are no more. Okay, I'll just hold on. But the point is, spend all of your life figuring out why you are here. If that is what you need to do, because in our generation, things gives us value than we giving things value. You see how they turned the whole world upside down. So now, where people work gives them value. That is really scary.
Yeah.
And you meet them. Oh my goodness, I go out of Ghana. I hear this guy. They are mentioning his name, oh, blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's just sit down and a coffee and let's have some conversation. 1 or 2 words alone, and I am disappointed. Like, literally disappointed. Because money has just covered him into himself or value. Trust me, a lot of people that this world hail so high, just have a coffee with them and have a conversation, deep conversation. You will be really, really disappointed. Our ministers, a lot of things have to go on. So please, follow after purpose. It may not bring you money, but definitely it will give you satisfaction. And that is what we are looking for. To be sincere with you, let's focus on the essentials. The others will definitely come. The first moment I received an amount of money in all of my life, I spent just 15 minutes. Just 15 minutes. When I got home, I was like, hey, I can't be doing 9 to 5 and I have to wait till the end of the month. Whereas when I follow my purpose and I sharpen my skill, just 15 minutes is giving me almost about 6 months' salary. What am I doing? So, purpose. Please focus on it. And sometimes the way the world has become, as she was saying, it's like everyone is moving after money. And it is true, because it's when this guy who's away here. Like, see, we're here, then was screaming, hey, I need money, I need money. Yes. And because of money, we are even seated here. But trust me, focus on the essentials. So as you begin to follow purpose, the grand scheme of things begin to what? Open up for you. And that is how my life has been. It has, every now and then, it is being shaping and it is opening up even in a grander style. So yes, it evolves, it will become clearer, and that's how God really works. Because if He gives you the whole picture, you are going to really what? Relax. But when you don't know and you are having that kind of, hey, you make a seal, you sleep You have dreams that you are receiving a lot of money, you are receiving a lot of accolades. Don't you get a lot of passion?
Yes.
When you get so much excited, but all of a sudden you tell you tomorrow, I guess there's no interest in about it. So yeah, I'll keep it here, but please focus on the essential, which is purpose. I don't know for me, but distraction is away kakra.
Yeah.
But all right, I'll leave
I
it
think
there.
we'll get to a point where we talk about the distractions. So thank you so much, Mr. Quarm. So the Elizabeth, can you just share with us, like, was there any aha moment for you in particular that you felt, okay, this is what God wants me to do, or this is why I'm here on earth? This is what I have to do as a person living on earth. Was there any moment for you, and what exactly? Can you share the story around that for us?
Okay, so before I do that, Mr. Kwam managed to give us some pointers. And Auntie Ruth has also delved deep into it. But from the onset, if you don't discover yourself, there's no way.
So self-discovery, you're
Self-discovery.
bringing self-discovery in.
If you don't discover yourself and what you want to do, there is no way that you will be able to fulfill purpose. I don't think Kabute just woke up one day and just said, oh, bring your dissertations to me, I'll make it happen. There